as we begin, we're going to take it one step back to before that happened. 2, as the party begins to settle down finally. Any questions for Brea can be answered, and she will, of course, help the party get some understanding of who they might be going up against. So this Vivian lady is a nightmare hag. The interesting thing about hags, I don't believe many know, they were once fey creatures who mingled with Shadowfell energies, manifesting them into their degenerate hexes and other kinds of magics. Their very nature has no being in the universe. They are a combination of elements that should not be combined. They are creatures who live by encroaching on the domains of others, whether that be literally, in a divine sense, or otherwise.
Interesting.
Even the yes.
Remind me, Adero, is Vivian the one that makes the marks? Or at least is the maker of my mark?
Presumably, yes.
Okay.
Now, this hag, I don't know why she's whirring up this storm, or how a hag of her rank could even achieve such strength. That remains to be seen, I suppose, though that is part of my being here, is to figure that out. Now, I understand you all intend to return back to anywhere else, no?
The intention is to get past the storm, yeah.
Well, this maelstrom of a mixture of whatever hex magic she has and the clouds of loan. Its nature I'm unsure of, but that would be a good thing to investigate. Of course, I'll help you any way I can, but all I can offer now is the nature of hags, and hopefully you can try to figure out how that ties in. Encroach in the domains of others, even here in Lone, where all unwelcome creatures are. The hags are in the least hospitable place, the Ashlands. Can't even breathe there properly, if that's where they make their domain. Nightmare hags like Vivienne encroached on the domain of the goddess Naja of dreams. Naja is a good goddess, and therefore nightmares, while technically falling under her domain, are not exactly aligned with her in concept, and thus hags stole a fragment of that power. You can find similar stories all over the place, but that's the most harrowing and simple one to explain. As for what this Vivienne has stolen or encroached upon, I'm not particularly sure. Besides nightmares, of course.
What purpose would she have for summoning the storm, keeping Lone isolated?
Not sure.
What's not to gain? No one interrupts you while you're doing whatever you're doing.
And as more people like us are sent here, they have more subjects that they can dispose without risking any numbers of the already existing cities. Or, well, towns.
But if they want people to show up, they should open the storm up. Sorry, Alyxend, you were saying?
Maybe they want people of particular stock, those that are able to brave the storm. What if it isn't that by providence we were allowed through, but selection?
It'd be a very complex spell. I mean, not a question, but what would they have need of those strong enough to pose a threat?
I mean, if you think about it, yeah, it's not exactly that you need a very specific spell. It's probably that mundane people won't have the means to save themselves. Well, us are kind of experienced or being able to cast some kind of magic, we have a higher chance to survive, maybe.
Only the interesting people are allowed in. Either way, it's very dickish.
Indeed.
Yes, I understand that you are among very few that have made it this far from your little quest at the behest of your heavenly hand.
What if it's not a filter? What if it's a prison? Trying to keep something here.
I mean, we have something that is supposed to be retrieved from these lands.
Yes, but they'd have no means of knowing that.
It's certainly possible.
But it might still be meant to keep some artifact here.
Yeah. Out of character, do you want to ask Bray about Loretta's blood?
She is a cult and, like, historian, so fuck yeah.
Good idea.
What do you know about the blood of Loretta?
Oh. I am aware that it tracks back to the first of werewolf kind, lichens. There were a finite amount in number, and I believe Loretta was the last of them. And in her time, as Vendra's, I believe, 4th general, she was slain, and that left the werewolf kind with no clear leader, which is why they're attempting to revive her. I suppose it's the fact that it's the most potent of werewolf blood. Perhaps it has something in it, in particular, that is able to revive Loretta. Besides the fact that it's just her blood. Perhaps some potent form of lycanthropy. Though specifically, I'm not sure. I am looking for the same answers, in fact. I was hoping to eventually make my way to Respite, the Howlers faction home.
They mentioned something. The ones that we had encountered before, they wanted relics of that ilk to attempt a resurrection. Am I misremembering?
You're correct.
The hags don't get along with the lichens, so it's difficult to say if they're working together in any way. Although it's still good information about the blood.
It is concerning. There's a mixture of potential cooperation between groups that should not be, but most likely it's just opportunism. Ever since this whole quest started, between the hags, the Vendra's apostles, and the like, the Howlers, I don't believe any of them are deliberately working together, like some believe. I believe most are being opportunistic, but it is definitely possible. Hold on. The ones you saw before?
Yes, we had encountered a few when we were... well, how to put it? In a bad place. It only got worse.
Are you the ones...
I'm technically not lying. I'm lying by omission.
Were you all successful in your journey? Were you successful in the mission that the church gave you? Have you retrieved
Marginally.
The blood?
Again, marginally.
All I remember is we met a cool werewolf dude. I liked him. I like Stefan.
Actually, it's a good point. The blood isn't on the shield anymore. And that's in a vial in whose pocket?
I think.
Vidnov, I think.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
either
remember.
me or
in the
Roy.
back, I think.
I think it might be Vidnov. Vidnov is the protagonist.
I know that I gave them their vial.
Yeah, I think I'm sure you had
Let me
at
take
least
a look.
one of them.
If you guys
gave
didn't know for
them
sure, you're
the
free
shield.
to declare that now.
I mean, we gave them the shield, but the shield is just a normal stuff without the blood. We retrieved the
I'm
blood
going
and
to tell her that we found our objective, the shield.
Yeah, I don't remember. We gave them part of the blood and we kept the shield, or we gave them part of the blood and the
There's your
shield?
part of the blood.
We gave them half
kept
of the
the
blood.
shield.
I still have the
Alyxend
shield.
didn't-
We also have
Oh, that's
another
right,
half
yeah.
of the blood.
In fact, her
Uh,
history check was to see if she recognized the shield. that Alyxend-
Roy, do you have the vial in your inventory?
In my inventory, no.
Okay. I don't have
I
it
probably-
either. Let me back. See what my notes say.
I'm here. You're robotic. I don't know if I'm not having the problem. I'm going to
Simply
Uh,
speaking, we were tasked to recover a relic. Did we know about the blood of Lusher beforehand?
You
We definitely did not.
Yeah,
That was a
that was
discovery at the time.
And we were sent to recover a relic in a certain place. I would say we were successful, but I doubt this relic alone is enough to bring about the resurrection of Loretta.
intriguing. Do you have this blood?
I'm not going to say anything. Actually, I am not in possession of the blood.
Uh-huh. And so you were all not successful in your mission?
We do have the shield.
I want to say
I
logically
wouldn't
again,
consider
so I
it a
can't say that.
success until we return.
I see. Perhaps the church's mission was slightly different than I understand it. Well, I don't know what else to say. Suppose only what made it
They
forward.
didn't. The church didn't give us too many details in the process, so whatever they were expecting, this is the best that we have got so far.
That isn't particularly unbelievable.
And if they aren't happy, then they should have given us more information.
I'm sure your return will be heralded as a grand day when you do make it back. I'm curious how much anyone knows, in fact. The common people of Gura.
Well, we're fairly common, and know absolutely nothing. So,
Well, I'm not from Gura, so...
I guess I'm technically not either, but I passed through.
Well, this is interesting. Perhaps I will also have to pay a visit sooner than expected.
I don't even remember where I came. I couldn't pin on a map where I came from
Happens.
anymore.
Well,
It's really difficult when you no longer have a brain in your brain case.
what?
At this point, I'm just like, no one's been surprised at the skeleton, so I'm like, that's just great. And I just be like, yes, underneath this armor, I am animate bone.
Oh, an undying.
Undying?
I believe that is what your specific. I shouldn't presume. You're not under control of some vampire lord or otherwise.
Pretty sure the Undyne is a fish person.
Undine are fish people.
Undying.
But there's also... Oh shit, I've lost connection to the server. Attempting to re-establish. It's okay, fix itself.
It's just a hiccup.
As far as I'm aware, I'm under no duress. I am very old. From what I've been able to piece together, my time was before the Admixtion.
Well, you, my friend, are part of a rare breed. I've only known a handful in my time. Two, specifically. They refer to themselves as pilgrims. Seeking truths about their existence, and in a respective pilgrimage to what or where I'm not quite sure. They weren't sure either, but that is what they believe to be their journey.
I've heard things. Though I'm not sure if I wanted to chase up all the rumors I've heard so far.
Of course, you're free to live your own life. What a motley crew. And she'll just start taking... She's been taking like notes the entire time. And she's just like thinking to herself. Like the new information she's received is definitely changing her plans and mixing things up.
Through research energy.
Alright. As Brea begins to sort of go into herself and begin to write, things fall quiet as the group begins to start a rest. You will see to the north side of the sanctuary a red light begin to coalesce as something appears. A dark red projection, some ethereal form of a knight, armor in the shape of a raven, will appear. Not immediately hostile, though, emanating a menacing aura as it sort of looks towards the party and begins to speak. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Agreed.
I wave. Hello!
I just blink.
Greetings.
I continue to soak in moonlight.
That's new.
It is quite beautiful.
For every minute of moonlight I absorb, I gain 0.1% of a new spell slot.
Rose.
I will start to gain in size. Like a plant.
Pretty unconcerned with how they're being perceived. This creature will begin to walk forward.
Considering I am bone person, I don't think I can really, I don't think I can say anything about the guy who just materializes out of thin air, Is there something we could help you with at all? Or...
Perhaps. It is quite beautiful. That those who know no peace are drawn here. As she will sort of like caress one of the heads of one of the skulls of the fallen people here. Those that know no peace are drawn here.
Those that know no peace.
The outer world not only cannot accept those from Lone, but they cannot seem to understand their desires. It's quite sad. People from Lone do not want broken promises of freedom from outsiders who couldn't possibly get it. Have you ever noticed how no one from Lone seems to want to leave? None of the natives seem to harbor the same desire.
Yeah, it's pretty inconsistent.
And why would that be?
Well, I believe Lone has not given up hope. They all fight for their own form of peace, one that I don't believe you can really understand, and I don't either, in truth. Not freedom or liberation or some sort of salvation, but a cold, bittersweet peace, an accepting of the world as it is and its natural order, and the beauty of one's place therein. Even if one's place is not that of someone free or joyous. My name is Karina. I fight for the desires of the people of Lone. And it is my belief that your quarry, Vivienne and her cursed storm, is a necessary evil. One that in time, at least, will come to encompass Lone and protect it from all outside influence. And there, and only then, can we finally begin on our quest for peace unimpeded. I ask of you...
Isn't that just pushing off the inevitable?
The inevitable?
Can't remain isolated forever, regardless of how you try. Building peace unilaterally might be a better option.
Perhaps in a perfect world, yes.
I mean, doesn't everyone from Gura just not like anything from Lone anyway?
It is a very negative relationship.
Now, your coast will know no werewolf attacks. The children of the Gurin coastal towns will know no vampires or scary tales of the undead crossing the seas and appearing on the coast. Anyone from here that seeks to harm those outside will be swept away, and vice versa.
Well, so far that hasn't worked.
I suppose not. But things cannot be that simple, can they?
So,
Well, do you have an alternate solution for us?
An alternate solution? I suppose to trust in the process. To leave and forget what you saw. Though I suppose it's not quite that simple, is it?
We can't leave? Like, the whole point of this particular expedition is so that we can leave. If you can get us off the loan, then we might consider might consider that a better option. But so far, we have a hag to kill in order to get off this place.
So you're unable to see past your own interests?
Our
No.
interest is to leave, and that seems to align with your interests. Then what is to stop us from pursuing our interests?
to seek our interests without halting Vivienne and their storm. To meet that end, we'd have to find a way to, say, quell it temporarily, so we can leave, and then it can continue afterwards.
Tell me. Have you completed your quest here?
As near as the church could tell.
Are you aware that your actions here can have unforeseen consequences if you end up leaving and bringing the information that you've gathered with you?
A butterfly flaps its wings and a hurricane starts on the other side of the planet. Every action has unforeseen consequences.
Suppose that is why we here seek to be whole, then. If all of Lone was encompassed, and we were all as one, then these issues would not be at hand. We can handle them together. But you're right in that things are not that simple.
So let me understand. You want the storm surrounding Lone to cover Lone, yes?
I'm not entirely certain, but something along those lines.
But the storm is meant to remove those that wish to do harm within or outside of Lone, yes?
But
Then would that not remove all the people living on Lone when it covers Lone?
not the storm itself, but something similar, I believe. I've seen it, but it's hard to explain. This storm that Vivienne has conjured is a violent... how do I put this? A violent reaction of the mists of Lone, lashing out, given a channel through Vivienne's hexes to protect Lone. The actual force behind it, is my understanding, is peaceful and benevolent. If I am correct, and I do believe I am, then allowing Vivienne to continue.
That belies the nature of a hag, though.
I cannot deny that she is an evil, a net negative, but I believe she might be a necessary one.
Well, if your theories are correct, find someone that isn't a net negative. We kill Vivienne, find out what she knows and how those curses work, hexes work. We can share that with you. Find someone that isn't a problem to do the same thing. Surely a hag whose power is stolen wouldn't compare to someone who's dedicated to the particular study.
I believe that all the organizations of Lone have been doing this for a long time. How the hag, Vivienne specifically, has managed to do what she has is beyond me. The powers she mingles with, I would agree with what you're saying. I don't even believe that she personally understands them. But by some cursed miracle, she is helping us.
But you know that's going to be a problem, eventually.
I'm sure. What?
So stop it now. Like I said, we can find out what she knows, give the information to you. Doesn't serve us anyway.
Opportunity cost, though. The idea is that by securing a loan, they can try to unify everything, find their own peace.
Karps raises his hand, so the Raven Knight just pays attention to this. He wants to ask a question. He wants to say something. He raises his hand like a elementary schooler. You remind me of a werewolf I talked to. He always said, like, he belonged here. Like, his brothers didn't like him from the looks of it. But he just felt like he couldn't leave. I think it's a family thing. I think he just wants everyone safe. I think that's what you want, right? Just so everyone alone could just be safe and just intermingle. Just find coexistence with themselves without interruption.
Yes. I have met others, like as you describe, that believe the same sort of thing. Nothing you're saying is wrong, but you must understand that you all are the wild cards here. Yes, if I were to gather a force and slay Vivienne and take what she learned and pass that on to someone more benevolent and powerful, perhaps things would be better. But I don't believe that when you guys return, that what you have done here and what you bring back will have been worth it for us to let you pass.
I must ask, how long have you been waiting for the storm to take the island and isolate you all?
Not long at all. I have been fighting for peace in my own way for a long time, and this is what I found when I came across Vivienne and vowed to protect her storm. This was recent.
Like, I'm sorry, we're working with a large timeline because one of us is, was it hundreds of years or just 100 years? As he looks to Alyxend. So, when you say small, I'm not sure what your range is.
Just months.
How long would it take, do you think, for that storm to engulf the entirety of
I don't
Rome?
believe as it is now it will do that at all. I believe it is step one in a long process, nor do I believe the end result is as simple as the storm just encompassing Rome. That's likely more complicated than that, and possibly even more metaphorical. I'm not even quite sure myself.
Has to cover enough of
You
Rome,
seem
say.
to have vowed to protect a lot of ideals that you seem to have, but not a concrete understanding of those ideals. That's
My
interesting.
understanding of my own ideals is concrete. Though in this world, in this continent, the means by which to fight for them are gray, at best.
Gray lines in a gray environment.
I'm sure you've seen that plenty of times here yourself.
Nev will simply nod.
Karps raises his hand again. So is it more that you just don't want us to leave with what we have more than just you don't want the storm gone?
I would like if you all were to peacefully, by your own accord, walk away and never be seen again into the forests of Lone in peace, but that is not possible for any of us.
We're not just going to disappear. We do have our own interests, as he pointed out. But compromise is the way forward. We can't ignore yours, but we're trying not to. It'd be nice if you didn't ignore ours, at least to the, life expectancy part.
Yes, I don't take kindly to people saying that I can't go back to Kresk.
You're entitled to your own desires, and I'm afraid when I manifested here, I had wished that things could be simpler, and that you all could have been a roving band of greedy mercenaries that simply got lucky, but this is putting a much stronger tension on my ethical boundaries than I anticipated.
Are there
I think
more of you?
Yes, though not many.
How did you come to be?
We are from an old order in Lone that is said to have originated from the Shadowfell itself. Warriors for peace and justice. We use ancient techniques like this projection technique, though much of our numbers and our procedures have been lost.
I can sympathize.
I think Vidnov would look to Alyxend. Oh, it seems you've met a friend in your circumstance. In a way.
Why can't it be? You want to go home?
I must say, I am quite satisfied that you aren't hard in your ways to the extent of not wanting to listen to others.
I would love if this could be more simple.
I think we all would.
So our options are disappear, just disappear.
You say the same character out of character.
Out of character. Or options are disappear, kill Vivienne, have these guys pissed at us, and obviously reporting back to the church is going to be like, huzzah, we've got a portion of the thingy. It does exist. We can send people there and bring them back. Har har har. Is there an option? Is there a third option? Go to the Underdark. It's go to the Underdark. The third option.
I think it's going to only on the Underdark and Paula.
Well, I think the Underdark is just like a scenic route version of we return to the church saying, huzzah, people can go there and come back.
I don't think going through the Underdark is really a huzzah. We can send people there and come back. Really.
Well, that's why I said it's the scenic route, assuming that everyone survives.
It's like
Oh yeah, all we need to do is
later.
survive the Drow, the Bullets, the Myconids.
I mean,
Not to
I
mention
think
whatever
Vidnov
underwater hazards there might be.
might be able to sneak through the entire place. Very slim chance, but...
Karps wants to raise his hand again.
Raise the hand.
You seem
He's raising his
very
hand.
excited. You and the other armor-clad individual. Do you belong? Well, I know your Raven friend alluded to you being part of a similar lost order, but what are the tenets that you both adhere to, if any?
You want to go first, Karps?
Oh. Sounds like he's assuming Karps is a part of whatever Alyxend's a part of.
Ah, right. I cannot speak for my friend here, but blessed dead, to provide aid where needed, to provide rest and succor to those who require it, to pave a road of redemption for those that deserve it.
And you?
Oh. I pull out the fish from my back. You
Howdy.
see my buddy here? He's trapped as a fish. He's been a fish for a very long time. He'd almost given up hope of not being a fish anymore. He said since I could hear him, I could be the light that gets him out of his darkest moment. And I promised him I would. My oath and my bond is to him. And I'll see it through. It's what I want to do. He said I could be more than just a simple fisherman if I helped him. And I believe him. Because he's my friend.
That's
Seems like
so
you've gotten very
sweet.
far with that. Certainly more than a fisherman now.
That's
Maybe. I don't think so yet. But I'm trying to be.
I don't think I've surpassed fisherman status. He says while clad in some mythic armor
He's
Isn't
humble.
it
Carrying a
Sounds like level
weapon-eating
60
magic
here.
axe.
with a seahorse behind him.
Yeah, your armor is like 5 years worth of fisherman's wages.
Probably way more than
At
that.
least.
Listen, the full weight of his existence is not him yet. He still thinks he's simple. Listen, you can put a velvet cloth over a piece of shit. There's still a piece of shit under there.
I don't know, man. I think
Boring.
you failed to realize you've basically joined the 1%.
Oh no!
Just by owning a set of full plate, you're now one of the 1%, my dude.
You passed level 5. You're level
I'm
1%.
still a poor man, he says, clad in a crown and jewels.
Okay.
Alexander's gonna
So-
sit down and think.
You help your fish friend to see it through. She's just gonna take a long look at everyone.
So, your order fights for peace and justice. You want peace to reign on Lone, yes?
Yes.
Despite the fact that the evil that is the Horde and the rest of, the monsters on Lone aren't necessarily a part of that, yes?
For the most part, yes.
Bria.
Hmm?
You're of
Something
Lone,
of the
yes?
sort, yes.
Do you believe that by sealing Lone off, you can more quickly attain peace?
I am, first off, very intrigued by this whole revelation. But in a way, yes. I believe that by sealing Lone, the individuals here and the forces at play can and most likely will come to some sort of end themselves, whether it be disaster or prosperity.
All right, well, you can't just lock yourself in a room and ignore the world around you. Your goal is short-sighted and juvenile. The only way that you're going to ever find peace amongst anything is to work with the wider world as a whole. You can create a myth and a legend of a sealed Lone that will entice adventurers and kings and the church and whoever else to try and plunder treasure, or you can speak to them on even terms. Show them that you're not only civilized, but capable of conversation. And then they will be forced to recognize you as an entity that needs to be negotiated with rather than just, run over.
And which voice do you suggest be the mouthpiece for Lone, Aravi?
Well, that's my point. There is no single mouthpiece for anywhere. The church has sway, kings have sway, even dukes and counts have sway. no one part of the world speaks with one mouthpiece either. Individuals across alone should make their own arrangements with the world around them.
But what if the world doesn't give them time?
The world doesn't give anyone time. We all have to stand for our situation as it is.
I will say to Bria's point, if the island is isolated from the rest of the world, and there's everyone here is acting in a vacuum, what say you, knights, would you expect to happen if the hag's effects on the undead that wander lone overcome all of the other residents of Lone? What say you happen if it's just undead here?
I would fight to ensure that that would not be the case. But you're right that it is a possibility. Though understand that this peace that we seek is, as I believe Brea was alluding to, I would like if this peace could be shared, but it's something different. It's something nigh supernatural. What we want is not the same that it's not the same that the world wants. And, more importantly, it is not the same that the world wants for us. But you are right. That, I suppose, my view is juvenile. Though, I believe you would retract back to such an almost near childlike desire and series of tenets if you lived here long enough and sought any sort of peace.
All the more reason to work with the wider world. There are organizations that fight the undead across the known world. Ally with them. Bolster your forces.
The problem with just sheltering yourselves is that word is going to spread. People are going to have their own assumption. It's like how people think that all kinds of undead or all kinds of fairy are evil. If you close yourselves, you are going to make believe everyone else that this land is lost, not sealed, trying to protect themselves. They're only like taken over directly by evil. Just like the church sent us, they're probably going to send more and more people even more capable of us, like us. So it's very trying to make communication, trying to ask for help, trying to make alliances, so they can understand what's your actual situation. Who is here? What are you doing? What do you need? Let them know that there are people here, not just curses or evil. There is something here worth fighting for, but you cannot always do it alone.
Yes, and if I mean no disrespect, Knight Karina, but if this peace is so amazing and universal, why not attempt to share it with the rest of the world?
Daryl, I think that Vidnov's going to try very hard to remember the line of work that he was doing prior to going on this entire quest, considering like he was either escorting diplomats or gathering information from other diplomats, whether it be consensual or not, that he gathered that information. Would he have any further insight into like possible less totalitarian?
Authoritarian.
Yeah, I started saying it, but I don't think it's the right word. Less final solutions to trying to figure out diplomacy, whether it be between Lone itself or those outside of it.
You asking, like, has there been successful, like, interaction between Lone and other places?
I think I'm just trying to play into like what like tips/tricks would he have picked up from listening to people about figuring out diplomacy.
I see.
Because like I assume that he would have like picked up how people normally do diplomacy between each other. Although it would have been within a not very war torn area, so not exactly that Lone is war torn, but
I don't know, man. It's pretty rough.
well, I wouldn't say it's war torn. I'd say that it's just
I don't think I have a good answer for
a
you.
wasteland.
I also just don't think I'm understanding. Just probably on me.
Yeah, I guess it's more of like is there any sort of insights that I can try to pull on to like output from the origin of Vidnov? Because like this seems more like this knight is trying to at least this is what Vidnov's taking from this, is that this knight's trying to be like the focal point of deciding the course of least resistance towards his quote-unquote peace.
Precisely, yeah. They are. She is at the moment like coming here essentially to size you guys up. Which I guess this would kind of tie into diplomatic deals you would have, seen or been accustomed to. This is her sizing you guys up, essentially. As she alluded to earlier, she said this would be much simpler if you guys were a bunch of greedy mercenaries. Essentially, she would have just killed you.
Kill us and be done with us.
Continued her plan as usual. She is not likely going to take any action right now, which leads you to believe that she might, pulling on like your previous diplomatic work and understanding, there's a good chance, especially because she's like a projected form right here, she's not going to give you a final answer really, and nor is she looking for you to give her a solution. Not to say that she won't take anything you said to heart.
Okay. I think so Roy left off with saying more or less like no, it's escaped my mind while I was trying to figure out how to word what I was trying to say.
Can't just be insular. You have to, like, just being insular isn't necessarily going to solve your problems either.
Listen.
I do appreciate you coming to how to say, I'm not used to diplomacy. I'm used to being around diplomacy. So I will say I am thankful to talk with one of the other factors at play in this area. Get another perspective on those whom are around us as we try to figure out our path to leaving.
Understand this. Lone is a country whose mortals run on hope, and oftentimes hope alone. Opportunities, if I understand you would likely not even want to call this that, but we certainly do. Opportunities, like the Netherstorm and Vivian, are very few and far between. Even if there's hardly a certainty, if semblance of that even, that this will actually lead to anything. People in Lone run on hope and kick and scream and grasp at any ounce of it we can find.
If your people run on hope, why not reach out to the group that has not only brokered a temporary armistice with Werewolf, freed a group of hags, and managed to take out the hero hunter and a drow slaver group, rather than an amorphous storm supplied by an evil that you have already stated is a problem. We are your hope, not that storm. We've offered a hand to everyone here that hasn't tried to cut it off, and in fact, even to the ones that have tried to cut it off. So maybe your hope isn't the storm.
Well, perhaps you're right.
It is fair. We have tried to diplomacy our way through a lot of situations.
Right?
I will also weigh in, knights. I do not assume all of your skills, though you may want to lean a bit less on sword and shield in order to attempt the goals that you seek. As unfortunate as it may be, as I too don't really enjoy conversation, diplomacy actually may be a much not simpler path, but easier path.
And perhaps we are twice as lucky than I thought. You all, and another storm. The only issue being those two is clashing forces. Listen, it is not just that we are hopeful for these things, but people have dedicated themselves to this nether storm. People have put hope into it one way or another. Not the civilized people of Ebenwall, but the dredges of humanity here in Lone. Their faith has already been placed, and to some degree, you cannot deny that I, as someone who protects those in Lone, must respect where people put their faith. But listen, if in your inevitable encounter, that I am only more certain now will occur, it is shown that you are either leagues more mighty, diplomatic, whatever words you might want to say, than the Nether Storm as a concept, as a force, or perhaps that it is too much of an evil to bear, then know that I would not waste a second to rise my blade on your side. But know that until then, I, like the mists above, am but a manifestation of the will of the people of Lone.
Well, to that end, I salute you. And see what the people of Lone think when we've freed the thralls from their bondage.
She will look towards Alyxend and Karps. And Karps' fish, which I assume is still out just watching.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Mm-hmm.
I smile at him.
My mind's drawing a blank.
Go on, sorry.
To coalesce the hopes of Lone, to turn it into something more tangible. Indeed. I believe your cause is true, and it is something that I would ally myself with.
You know, I think I understand you guys. You guys want to be the light in the dark. Even if it's a small one.
Alyxend finds himself looking up at the moon.
Fisherman, you said something earlier that intrigued me in regards to your little fish friend. You mentioned seeing it through. I believe that you should, and I should honestly as well, think about that more and put a little more stock into that as an ideal. I think it holds great value.
See it through.
I want to make an insight into how he's interpreting seeing it through. So I'm trying to gauge whether or not he means that like seeing through his original oath, his recent oath with the storm protection, or what.
Okay. That element is kind of there. You see, as she speaks, her tone kind of drops at the end of the statement. But based on her focus on Karps as she said it, it's almost as if she's just hoping that you guys will be the ones to see it through.
Okay.
Hmm.
I won't discuss this yet, at least.
We will be the ones
And-
to see it through.
And for Karps to
Ah.
sort of meditate on that ideal, she really, like... In fact, she'll continue speaking. I know none of you are knights, yes, I believe. To be a knight is to serve not a person, but an idea. I believe that following that is the best way for true justice to be gained. Know that no matter what, I will do everything I can to not betray those ideals. And I can only hope the same is true for the all of you. She will go on.
I think Vidnov will nod a little bit as he kind of like just messes with the necklace that's around his neck right now.
Starting with the conversation is a good way to begin.
All begins with one idea.
I'm gonna stick my hand out at him like I want to give him a handshake.
And then stab him with
Even
the other
tangible.
All
hand.
attack! Don't surprise.
We all attack at the same time, you fool! The handshake is the signal.
That's messed up. It's a messed up thing to be the signal. It's like, yeah, the high five is a signal. True.
All is fair in love and war.
Can I make a request of you, fishermen? Let us both meditate on that idea in our time apart.
Of course. I'll try my best. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed.
Let us see it through together.
I think I can say that we all look forward to speaking
Great.
again.
Sort of caress one of the skulls of the fallen here in the sanctuary as they begin to fade once more.
Those that do not know peace.
Good transition.
I'm going to immediately look at Bria and see
Bria's
if
writing
she's
more
still
notes
writing
before.
notes. As I expected.
Interesting encounter. Didn't know such orders still existed here in Lone. And one so dedicated to this idea of hope in Lone. This peace she spoke of was most intriguing. Though if it's so good, I don't understand why she wishes not to at least attempt to share it with the world. Suppose she just believes, like she said in her original speech, that it's just simply not possible for outsiders to get it. I, for one, wish to challenge that.
My interpretation of their idea of peace is less, at least their views seem to be less stable and more amorphous in the term of peace.
In such a supernatural place, I can tell you, such concepts, amorphous as they may be, almost typically tend to have some sort of over-exaggerated literal interpretation as well. And that I am most intrigued about.
Understandable.
Well, I suppose ultimately that doesn't completely change your plans, does it?
My plans aren't any different.
Same here. My idea of how we progress has not changed. Only that we may have an ear, perhaps, in the future.
We have to be careful with what we report to the church.
I have never been more sure of that.
The life of a nation is at stake. And I believe that is more than we initially thought we would be in for. Should all of this progress, could I count on those present to join me in that?
I plan on seeing it through.
To see it.
Nodders.
I must be honest. If I knew that there was going to be this much nods towards diplomacy, I would have stayed in Kresk. But I'm here now, and I would like to return.
Well, I for one am traveling to Halu's Respite soon, likely immediately after this. I can attempt to poke around, and I understand you've already spoken to them, but see where they fall on the matter. See if I could potentially turn some heads and get some people on my side.
Not his. Oh boy, what have we put ourselves into, lads?
Bray will begin to gather some wood for a small fire.
I'll use prestidigitation to assist in lighting it.
I will start ritual casting Leomund's tiny hut.
Woo, safety.
Alright. Alright. Some time goes by as you guys all reflect. No more surprise encounters seem to occur.
Ooh, long rest.
Before we go to sleep, I do laps around the inside of the bubble just to burn off some energy.
Are you doing laps on just your feet or on all fours?
I want to have a private conversation
On all fours
with the
and
fish
vertically.
before bed.
Nodders. With the power of tiny hut. What's it? Don't consume spell slot, blah blah blah. Bang! What's the nicest hut I can create?
There's a tiny
There you go.
sprint radius.
It's great for corner practice, you know. You never know when you need to make such tight turns.
We'll do like 2 rotations
Exactly.
a second.
I think, let's see. Yeah, I think Vidnov would say a silence prayer towards Leator while Alyxend is producing the safety bubble. Nothing super specific.
You have 8 entire hours from the moment you collapse in this bubble.
Alright. Karps.
Anyone can enter and leave the bubble. As long as I don't leave it, it stays around.
Bubble trapped. night.
I will take my time to deactivate body and change one of my infusions.
Only downside is I can't put the seahorse in it.
It's fine. I'm sleeping outside with the seahorse.
I'll sleep outside with the seahorse.
What are you get some distance from the party, Karps, and you bring out the boy.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Hey, buddy. That
She's
night
cool.
chick was interesting, wasn't she? What do you think she meant by that seeing it through stuff?
I was never good at that sort of thing. I don't know. Some philosophy stuff, I guess. About like living to your ideals or something.
Do you think I'm doing
I
that?
mean, I'm still around and we're in the most dangerous part of the world, so I think you're doing a pretty damn good job.
I don't know. I feel like we haven't made any progress in trying to help you. We got information, but nothing just to get you back
I'm
to
fine
normal.
with that. I'm having fun. I mean, slow progress is still progress. It's not like this is the most enjoyment I've gotten in years, Karps. This is great. I haven't hung up on a wall for however long. If this is what things are looking like for a long time, I don't really care. This is good.
Maybe you're right. He looks at his kelpie. He looks at his weapon. He looks at his helmet. And he looks at the fish.
I think Vidnov, after entering the hut, would kind of sit down and look to the others. Is there anything that you wish for me to look at more closely? More or less asking, I still have a couple of spell slots that I could use identify for. So if we aren't certain of any items, I can spend a couple spell slots before we rest.
I have like 3 cursed items in the bag, and I know that Alex was interested, so
Okay. Yeah, I have 3 slots to use, so.
What do they do?
Alright. Yeah, Adira, I'll spend all 3 of my slots to know the ins and outs of
okay.
all of the cursed items. I already know what the dagger does. I don't know if we know what the other 2 do.
Alright, remind me what the dagger was again?
The dagger was the,
that's what
like
we
the
did.
black thorn dagger, I think it was called.
Like
Black
Like
horn.
bursts out of you when you use
It
it.
slowly grows. Yeah.
It
So how
becomes
many
a
does
part
that
of
leave?
you.
Ignoring any of the identified ones?
Yeah, but then you get more of them.
How many are not
It's
fully
3, right?
identified? Do we know?
I know we had 6. One is the dagger, one is my rapier, and one is Alex May, so that will be 3.
There's
Okay.
the Hellish Hammer, which is also on the maximum curse scale, and 2 other objects.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. I have 3 slots to burn, so I'll use all of them.
Alright. So now this finally comes to bite me in the ass. So...
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to
are
rearrange
not
my
fully
entire
written yet.
spell list.
There you go.
So I will send you the specific details the moment I can.
I need the lore.
Give it to me.
I don't know why I haven't bothered making them. That's my bad. I do apologize. But
Yeah, so
just
let's
the... Let's see.
I mean, we can get the info later. I just wanted to make sure that we, at some point, have a full understanding of everything that we have.
I'd rather just completely
We
wait so I can
will
get
know.
the full correct definition.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just spend
Okay.
the time now to have it so that we can get the full descriptions when you
ASAP
are
after
prepared
the
with them.
session. The one you do know, of course, is the big demon maul. But that's what we got so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. How are we doing?
I'll spend a minute touching the demon maul and then look to you and say, "This is
Touch the
bad."
other one, touch the other ones, which are just like a missing texture on the floor. These are bad too.
There's something wrong
This
here.
is bad.
Okay. Make note to myself on my piece of paper.
Should I perhaps speak with Dead for tomorrow?
That could be fun. Finally figure out what Estoc has to say.
Turns out all Estok has to say is point us towards the direction of that cave. What could Estoc know that we would want to know that he could tell us? I get 5 questions.
Anything about Vivian. Source of power, intention, like anything that you guys can think of.
I mean,
it's more of like
the
it's like a
easiest
tree,
way
right?
we could do those to get info about Vivian is first ask, do you know of a weakness of Vivian? Or a vulnerability of any Vivian? And then if he answers yes, then we can ask, what is that weakness? And then
We could specify the hag Vivian in case he just picks a random Vivian
yeah.
who knows
Right,
he
right.
has an allergy to
Yeah.
walnuts.
As you guys are deciding these things, you could go ahead and give yourself a long rest.
Awesome. I'm gonna take Animate Dead, and I'm considering taking Beacon of Hope.
Notice
Advantage on Wisdom saving
Notice the
throws
Great
against a
does not-
hag
does
seems
not
really
sleep.
good.
And
Yeah.
about halfway through the rest, whoever's kind of half awake, she will.
I'm always awake.
Alyxend, are you conscious?
I just moved to the edge of the sphere just to not disturb everyone's rest
I
as
have
badly.
Acquired sufficient rest. I'm going to set out now. I wish you all the best of luck.
I give like a nod. Take care in your pursuits, Breya.
Until we meet again.
Until we meet again.
She will almost step on Kelby.
Almost. What if I give the hag a curse? What if it just goes full circle? I touch them and give them a curse. How does it feel to be cursed? It doesn't feel so good now, does it? Maybe you should stop it.
Taking notes. Alright. I know when you guys are all set and decided.
Could you help me giving me my familiar again? I cannot drag
Oh,
him
yeah.
into.
Let me also
This way.
take off Buddy's temp HP.
I'm basically actually going to deactivate Buddy. I'm going to give myself my armor of magical strength. Thank you.
Bring back Friendo. Love you.
Luffy, thank you.
And Roy, despite your best attempts, when you shut down Buddy, which is standard procedure and you do everything right, there's still like a faint energy emanating from his power source.
Do they which?
He will make a mental note to try to retrieve the full phylactery from the model that Buddy is, just to be like safe.
Did we identify those phylacteries?
Yes.
You can only get so much
Oh,
information from them.
Yeah. We know that it's basically leech magic and there's like some kind of soul in it, but we don't know if there's like a triggering situation when they are going to implode or turn evil or something
I
like that.
forgot who exactly
Okay.
that. As long as you use it like reasonably, it's completely safe to use. Oh yeah,
Wasn't that the guy in his dream who told him?
that's the one. All right, your spell selected for the day. You can go ahead and hit your long rest. I think everyone did, except for Alyxend so far.
Oh, yes. I always have my spells selected, because I don't have the option of not selecting the ones that I currently have.
Alright. The moment your party is equidistant from Evanwall and Vivian's lair, which is presumably at the very coast of Lone, Trigura. Immediately, just here, even from here, you guys can see that further ahead, the mist condense further and become more turbulent into what you can only assume is the Nether Storm. Couple hours left on the tiny hut as everyone sort of starts to come to. Who hasn't already?
Oh, actually, since I completed a long rest slightly earlier, actually, I'll wait until everyone's woken up a bit, just to give myself a bit of margin. I set my urn down right here.
Alright, the day is yours.
I'll quietly utter some prayers.
Wait till they're done and then ready to go.
Your crimes, we agreed on your penance, on your service. Your time in the Vale is at a temporary end. To the mortal plane, one day you will return. As was contracted long ago. Rise once more.
Yeah.
And I am going to finally cast Animate Dead on my pile of
Real.
bones.
Alright.
I raise my skeleton
You have
friend.
a piece of art you want me to use for that?
I
Likely
did. Where is it? It is this buddy right here.
Alright.
Ooh.
I'm just imagining Vidnov, like, catching that Alyxend is, like, whisper casting something, looks over just as you finish, and then the bones start moving out of the urn.
Alright, now to token speedrun. Yeah, skeleton stat block, correct?
Yes, though they don't own a bow
Poor guy.
because they
He's not
just
a
don't own one.
1%er.
They don't have one.
Oh, that is the wrong creature I just copied. There we go. This is other.
Well, I think we've officially doubled our numbers.
Yeah, the point of Skelebro over here is I do have to equip them. They don't just have stuff. I have to give them stuff to
Everyone
equip
has
them with.
everyone has,
Oh.
has a little dude.
We got plenty cursed items.
Just pile the cursed
Yep.
items. That's funny.
Yeah.
They can't attune,
Alright,
unfortunately.
I gave you permission or ownership over the creature,
Hey.
Chenny, and now I'm gonna do the token. Remove his bow. Sorry, buddy. No bow.
Yeah,
crap.
technically speaking, everyone has a familiar now.
Yep.
Oh, don't break the stream, please. Okay, thank you.
Let's see. What was yours? What was the original agreement? And Alexander like paused through this old, half-rotted book.
Let's see here. They were supposed to serve a number of. Oh, that part of the page is gone. Years.
Days, months, minutes, seconds. How long is what's the scale of this thing?
Lived
We're
a life
supposed to
that
earn-
caused sorrow and tragedy. Therefore, you will live a lifetime in undeath to make it right.
Lower on the page, it says, was supposed to earn a number of gold equal to. Oh, that part of the page is gone too, per day.
Ah, shoot.
Darn. It's a real shame.
Okay. Nothing. And does Skeleton have
Skeleton
a
warrior.
name or some sort of title you'd like him to be referred to as?
Sir
Yeah,
Spooky
crazy
Scary
tonal
Skeleton.
Nah.
But it's
That's
only
his-
this
that's his
familiar
name.
that has that tone.
Yeah! It is I, the skeleton!
Oh, there you go. Crap, you have to scroll.
It is still
And out of the pile of bones. The shambling but familiar body is resurrected by Alyxend. Familiar at least to Alyxend.
And then gives him like a nod of acknowledgement.
Aravi tests the heat of the flames.
They are almost comforting to behold and to feel.
Nice.
So does this mean you're keeping the urn, or...
Yes, it is where they shall return to when they are not up and about.
Ah, yes. A nice condensed bed space.
Indeed. Members of my order would bear the burden of many at a time, though I am reduced to but one. Still, I'm sure Laucast will be happy that they can finally work off their sentence as originally contracted.
And how long is their sentence?
They caused a lifetime of misery, and a lifetime in undeath they will serve to make it right.
I don't think I had ever picked up on... how do I say? What you were prior? I don't know what your life expectancy was prior to your contract.
My contract is never-ending. I have dedicated everything to my order. Though Laucast here still has about 59 years left on his service. Angry rattling. Well, it sounds angry. It's just very reverberating.
Some bone noises in the Discord soundboard.
I understand. It has been a long, long time. Unfortunately, there are no statutes of limitations.
Yeah.
Depressed rattling.
And this is why I certainly don't break the law. As Vidnov's eyes cast from side to side, non-suspiciously, of course.
They did. I didn't. Lowcast wasn't selected out of random as a criminal who would force upon a path of redemption. All those in the Blessed Dead are contracted prior or have come in search of benediction. Lowcast is one such, who at the end of his life regretted everything. In any case, if any of you should fall, do I have permission to rest? No, I'm not going to say that.
That
No,
was, literally my first. That was the
Would you
first
like to talk
D&D
about our
interaction
Lord and
I've ever
Savior?
had, was I joined a group, and the first thing everyone asked was, when you die, what would you like us to do to your body? And how much do I have to pay you to let us resurrect you? Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Alyxend and Locast. Locast? Locast? Locast. Locast. Locast.
Lowcast.
Alright. Your day is yours.
We have a storm to quell today, aye.
Aye.
Or at least attempt to.
Alyxend nods. This may be one of our more difficult tasks to date.
I am glad I am up to my full capabilities to assist.
Did we want to chat with us, Doc?
Can do. Is Karps up?
I'm up.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're about to commune with S-Dog. Would you like to be part of the conversation?
Heard. Perfect stock. We're talking to his dead head.
We are indeed communicating with his spirit.
His perverted spirit.
Have we decided on the questions?
5 questions. We should be as precise as possible. Understand that it is not foolproof.
Well,
What questions do we wish to ensure that we get answers of?
What might Estoc know? He seemed to be at least reasonably collected. He seemed to be in service to the Drow. He seemed to know some things about the land around Alone. We don't really care about the Drow right now. So maybe our line of questioning we thought of before. Do you know Vivian the Hag? Do you know a weakness? Maybe just phrase that into one question.
Yeah, we can
And
skip
then-
the do you know Vivian the Hag by asking what is Vivian the Hag's weakness, and if the answer is I don't know.
I mean, that's the answer anyway. Yep. Does Vivian have an external source of power? And yeah, that's only 2. I don't know if I have any other questions. Any thoughts?
Yeah.
Was it
I guess you could
does
say
have Vivian
it's a-
have an external source of power? Is that how it was
Yeah.
worded?
And maybe some vanity questions of what the hell was Erge?
Yeah, that's one.
Yo, only the stream can hear me right now. If you're watching this as a VOD,
No, I might phrase it more
what's up?
nicely.
I'm testing my voice really quick.
Perhaps more relevant is will they send someone else?
What have you done? You have brought me
Although I don't know how relevant that is to our actual mission.
You have
It's a
brought
path to
me
the Underdark. The Drow are going to send someone
How does
else
voice
up
go?
if they really want more
You don't
people.
understand what you have done. You don't understand what you have done.
Like, Lone's
That works.
practically made them. The
Alright,
lights
bye.
dim,
Bye,
they don't
VOD viewer.
have the blazing sun all the damn time, so they don't have to bother wearing shades.
So far I've written down the questions. What is the hag Vivian's weakness? Does the hag Vivian have an external force of power or source of power? And what creature was Erge?
We focus more on other opportunities. Is there another source or another path out of Lone? We'll have to be clever with that one because he might just hit the Underdark one.
Well, we could simply ask, is there a path, what is another path out of Lone other than the Underdark and crossing over the ocean through the storm?
Aside from the Underdark and through the Netherstorm, what is a way out of Lone?
Why don't we just say what's a safe way out of Lotus that isn't the Underdark?
To be fair, if a safe way out of Lone is the Underdark, that means there's a safe path from Lone back to the mainland through the Underdark.
Yeah, I guess we could just ask, what is a safe path out of Lone?
Maybe.
Or what is the safest path out of Lone? Because if he says the Underdark, and when we ask what is the safest path, then it's pretty clear that it's either the Underdark or kill the hag.
Yeah.
To be fair,
You might not
Underdark
even
doesn't
have
sound
this
too bad.
knowledge, but it's worthwhile asking.
Another option could be what is the nature of your benefactor, or something along the lines of that, to figure out who hired him to hero hunt.
Oops. I didn't mean to send that yet.
Because figuring out who sent him might be, it might not be like the most important, but it could be of value.
Oh, my bad. Alright, so those are the questions that I have at the moment, and their wording. I've posted in the Discord.
Is the hag Vivian's weakness? Does the hag Vivian have an external source of power? What creature was Edgegate? Was the safest path out of Lone? What is the nature of your benefactor? What answer could they give to that? They could just be like, they are impatient, and just leave it there. They are a son of a bitch. They have something over me.
Yeah. One of the issues with the second question is that he may just say yes or no, and not, like, if he says yes and he does not elaborate, then we would have to burn one of the other questions if we wanted more answers on it.
That's fine. Asking what kind of creature Erge was is a vanity question anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in future, we never have to worry about any other Erge-like individuals.
Hold on. I have
would
some
be
wood
nice.
around me somewhere. I need to knock on it.
I need to go get my plank.
There is a 0% chance.
Here, let me go get my my 2x4 plank that's 8 inches long, just so I have some wood to knock on from time to
Actually, I
time.
do have a plank
me and
underneath
friend
my
have a
desk I could
birthday
tap.
plank that we sign and check to whoever's birthday it is at any given time.
What the hell?
That's my fight.
Yeah, like
that's so
100
that's so wild.
Between like 5 people a bunch of times. Not that many signatures. It's really funny.
This really awful plank of
So wait, does that mean
Laminated.
when you guys
We were
fill
ready.
up all the
People
space,
already,
you're gonna
like, add
paint
their
it
own
and then
name
start
to it
again?
whenever they give it away. People like spray paint it or like draw stupid shit on it. I haven't gotten it in a while.
Alright,
this is my bonking stick. Hey, let's start, I guess. No time like the present, right?
if he does answer that Vivian does have an external source of power, would we like to ask him to simply explain where it is, or
Well, what to expect?
Yeah, where what the source is. We might be try and be clever and be like, what is Vivian's external source of power? Because if there's that can answer both yes or no and what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
because or either he could be like, it's a wand, it's a staff, and then, but that doesn't eliminate the idea that he is or isn't aware of, because he could just not be aware that Vivian has an external source of power. That's another factor we have to remember when it comes to this. There's on the assumption that A, they know Vivian, or knew Vivian at any point, and B, knew any of her operation. It's just the constraint of the question. In doubt, we can just dedicate everything to learning about like Vivian and the Netherstorm, of course.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we can go off of the questions that I've put in writing on the Discord if we want to ensure that we get those questions. But since Alyxend is the one casting the spell, I will
I
leave
cast
it to
the
Alyxend.
spell Speak with Dead.
And just as a side note, if Estok's voice is different while it's coming through Speak with the Dead, I will be listening intently to mimic it.
I am going to yeah, I take out my block of incense. I shave a piece off, place it in my censer. As I light it, I waft the smoke around like the head in a seemingly just a normal like circular pattern, but the smoke then coalesces and flows into the mouth of the decapitated head of Estok. His eyes are light as he takes a gasp of air. Question number 1.
Just as I suspected.
I'm just going to be kind of unnerved by that. They're not supposed to start talking before you ask the questions.
I'm gonna look at Estok and see if he notices that I'm wearing his cowl
He doesn't notice anything.
instead of mine.
He's just rambling to himself.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna quickly do one of. Never mind. I know fucking nothing. This is completely out of the ordinary, and I have no idea what's wrong. Undeterred, I'm simply going to ask, without saying anything else, what is the hag Vivienne's weakness?
That hag is she has no idea what she's doing. He has no clue.
Huh? Huh? What do you mean he has no... What do you mean that's your answer?
Don't say
Okay.
anything that has a question mark at the end of it.
It's okay. That's my brain screaming. Thankfully. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, let's take a away sanity damage. It's fine.
Hold on.
Okay. So he had said that Vivian has no idea what they're doing.
Vivian got no idea what she's doing.
Without Frank. Yeah.
I can use the voice mod app on my phone.
Cool. Turning to address the party. That would then imply that they did not know Vivienne. I believe we should ask a question about their benefactor.
I'll simply give a nod.
Makes
Just
sense
to
to
be
me.
clear, he did. Like, he said that Vivian has no idea what she's doing. I don't know if I can pick up with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
that's
convenience isn't the greatest weakness.
The weakness, but
Oh. Yeah. Oh, right. Vivienne has no idea what she's doing.
yeah.
Oh, because she doesn't know that. There's no. She has no mastery of it. Not to say she's incompetent. She's.
He just said like a fucking psychopath.
Awesome. Good to know. Good to know he's gone insane since we killed him.
I mean, being dead and
Oh, that means he was sent to the proper place after death.
In another life, I made him sign one of my death contracts.
You could do that with one of the questions.
That's a
verbal agreement.
Would you like to sign that?
A question
I
that's
re-
30
I
words
dictate-
long, just to trick him into saying yes.
I dictate like an insanely the entire terms of the agreement, and then at the end, would you like to agree to this? Okay. So everyone has no idea what they're doing. Alright, I'll just continue with the normal questions since that is a answer that. What is the hag Vivienne's external source of power?
When her and her sisters wrestled control of the Nether Storm, they were lost in the spell. Her cauldron is the source of her abilities.
Cauldron. Good to know.
I'm going to make a... Let's see. Would that be a wisdom or an intelligence check? I think I'll do an intelligence check myself to see if my character will think akin to what I'm thinking. Nope. Okay. Carry on.
I forget. When we encountered Ergay, did they seem male presenting, female presenting, or was it just too difficult to tell?
I'll just tell you how the character is male. They're a male. But it would have been hard to really distinguish anything.
In this universe, are there male drow?
Yes.
Or male driders?
If you want to make a history check on that, you can. Everyone's free to do so.
I'm gonna think funk on that. Fuck no, apparently. That's, maybe I shouldn't... Hold on, let me just... No, I'm not gonna roll for nothing. Because if I roll for nothing, it's gonna be a natural 20. That's the law. That's the rules of the die.
It is something that is heard of.
I think the next question of importance is, what's the safest path out of Lone? I think I will ask that one next. What is the safest path out of Lone?
It's not that hard. Simply go down the path to the Underdark. Find your way to Webnest. My home.
Webnest.
Is it web nest?
What's safe for him might not be safe for us.
That's fair. But Estoc doesn't look like a drow, so...
Estoc is very much a drow. Yes.
Oh, Estoc is very much a drow? Oh. I take it back.
Missed that part.
Oh, sorry, my lack of eyes made it hard to understand.
Okay, then that balance makes sense. The safest place is a place where, they would know of. In that case, as a hero hunter, they're probably just gathering slaves for Drowland, doing slave things. But they're working for someone that didn't like them if they were being late. And they thought that if they just gotten enough people, it wouldn't matter if they were late, because the hall would be good enough to make up for the time. And then we happened, so,
Mm-hmm.
Hence why he's telling us all this from a dead head.
Do we need to know the nature of their benefactor? We can probably intuit the nature of their benefactor.
Unless he was secretly working for somebody else as his primary benefactor.
It might not be that deep.
Yeah.
It might not matter either.
The web might not tangle that much. Har har har. I'm gonna ask the vanity question.
I say go for it.
What creature is gay?
That poor bastard. They failed to try their experiment. They put him through it as punishment. He didn't come out the same.
Well, at least we made a mercy, though.
I feel the slightest, like a feather weight better. I am unsure what question next to ask.
We could ask about another path out of Sloan, excluding that one, since he seemed to have been in tune with it, but I don't want to assume that that would be the best to ask.
I'm just look around between the party members.
What answer were you expecting?
Okay. I have it. Might just go down the what is the nature of an effective question then, since if we don't know what else to ask, we've got all the answers we want out of Vivienne stuff, TM.
Mm-hmm.
Cauldron, and they have no fucking clue what they're doing.
We could take a hard left turn and see if he knows anything about the lichens.
What do you know about the howlers? Like, which ones? The
We'd have to
howlers, the other lichens?
We have to be very specific.
I believe the howlers are not the only
Howlers
faction of
are
lichens, from what we
specifically
learned,
a
right?
faction of werewolves that is very prominent in Lone.
And it's the ones that were looking for pieces of
Yes.
their dead leader.
Their dead leader. Who
We're the
is
most familiar with
who
those
was,
guys.
Based on what Brea said, the last lichen. The lichen specifically being like a group of like progenitor werewolves of some sort.
Yeah.
How about what is the blood capable of? The queen's
Not
blood
sure
capable of. He probably have no idea,
Which-
but he might. He might have rumor.
Yeah, but then we just get a rumor.
True.
I
It might
don't
lead.
believe there is any reason to believe that Estoc knows any more than Brea would have known.
That's a fair assumption.
So I am tempted to ask about a way out of Lone without use of the Underdark.
Mm-hmm. And then, if we wanted a concrete answer about if he took the scroll or not, we could also just ask him
do you want to did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
that. But that would be like we
What are we gonna do if he says no, huh?
we already heavily believe that it's him. But like,
Yeah.
if we do ask him and he says no, then we truly have no fucking clue who did.
Then just word
Not that
it
it
as,
matters,
then,
but it could be
then
fun
just word it as
question
who
anyway.
took the scroll.
Yeah.
Watch,
yeah.
we go hand back the scroll.
Me.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we go back and deliver the scroll, and it's not even the same scroll. It just happens to be a
Biggest
scroll
fucking
that
red
does the
herring
same
I've
thing.
ever conceived of.
But that guy specifically wants the one that was stolen because it has like his copyable formula on it, so he can print another one. That's why that one's so important. No, I think I'll do the escape question. Without use of the Underdark, what is the safest way out of Lone? Here's probably answer the same thing again, because Webness isn't in the Underdark.
It is hardly safe, but to either travel through via the waters controlled by the vampires, or that controlled by the hags in the Ashlands. To even procure a ship alone would be most troublesome.
With that final question, the breath, like the smoke, just begins to just billow out in like one massive gasp. They're immune to that for the next 10 days, so...
I suppose we could just keep him around for an extra source of information. He does seem to have...
I will ritual cast Gentle Repose
Breaking
again
box.
and put 2 copper coins over his eyes.
The
I'm just
same,
gonna keep
right?
asking him questions every 10 days.
Oh, anything new
What
happened
is
over the
your
past 10
favorite
days?
color?
No. Are you sure? Yes.
We can keep him until he says yes to Alex's
That definitely
proposal
violates
to join
something in there, right?
his order.
Every 10 days, I repeat the contract. Would you like to? Would you like to
Literally
have
a
this death
post-death
contract?
spammer.
Would you like to have this death contract?
Like, fucking sure, fine. Oh my god. It'll get you
Third
to stop.
question, how about now?
It has been a millennia.
I have
Both
all
is
the
the
time
same
in the
part.
world.
You could just do that.
Listen, when you
It'd
have
be a
eternity,
second form of hell for him.
an eternity of service to my order is the price of my eternal life. That
See-
and I will slowly go batshit insane.
Yeah, see, because of this being brought up now, it makes me want to attempt to play a character that just has that as a quirk. He just
Like a
talks to a
spammer?
familiar or ahead of a long vanquished foe that he just gentle reposes and then resurrects after 10 days to just fuck with them.
I level 1 adventure. What's your,
Hey, buddy,
what's
how's
your
the
level
afterlife?
Adventure? Oh, I want to level up to 5 so I could just fuck with this guy for all eternity.
That's
Everybody needs Aravi.
pretty. That's pretty rough. You must have an absolute grudge against this guy.
Where do you put your
That you
face
never
there?
want them to have a peaceful afterlife.
Fuckery.
My domain is fucking around and finding out. Well, with that answered, to Vivienne we go. We are looking for their cauldron, which is the external source of their power. And they don't know how to command the Netherstorm. That's their weakness. What do you think that translates into for us in terms of dealing with her?
Well, if she has no idea
Excellent
what
point, Lowcast.
if she has no idea what she's doing, then if we can figure out what is happening, we have a distinct advantage. But we're gonna have to at least get a look at what this cauldron's doing first.
Do you think it'll be as simple as touching the cauldron and dispelling whatever magic it has upon it?
Yeah, I'm
Wouldn't that
pretty
be
sure
nice?
that will be nice, but it's probably protected by some sort of magic. I don't think it's
Well-
going to be like they leave it open and just expect for the best.
Not to take advantage of a hefty curse and all, but we do have a magic-eating axe.
Wait, I take that back. I have 10 vials on my fumigator that I should be able to eliminate curses.
Oh, the decursinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought either.
That's a good point. Why don't we try using the decursinator on Harry and the boys? I'm sure cast technology trumps hag fuckery, right?
Oh shit! We should have had Roy do that while you guys were trying to reverse my curse. Then maybe it would have been more permanent.
Less painful, maybe.
Not
Maybe.
going to lie, I completely forgot that I had this.
It's okay. If once I gain 2 more levels, I'll have the spellcasting power both myself and Paula at the same time. I'll just cast remove curse and dispel magic in sequence. We even have more water. It'll be fine.
Yeah, if the hag turns me back into a raven during the fight, then yeah, you can just do that stuff on me later.
Hold on a moment. I'm just going to remove the curse on them
Well,
right
got any
now.
curses? Come
Just
here, line up.
hold on,
Right
everyone.
here.
Just give me a few minutes.
We're gonna do a whole thing. Got 3? Any takers?
I
4?
got 3 of them.
We're just gonna gas you in the good way, you know?
Okay. With cart in tow and the still decapitated body of Estok.
Among other followers.
Onwards.
Very well.
I'll cast
Sick.
Prestidigitation to clean Estok's hood that I'm currently wearing.
Sadly, he was too much not actually.
So,
alive,
hold on.
See that, but
It's okay. Next time we ask him questions, one of them will be, how do you feel about the person that killed you wearing your cowl to spite you?
I really hate that. I wish they would stop.
How do you
How do
feel
you
that
feel
you're
that it's
powerless
me?
to stop my actions?
We have a bunch of vanity. Like, we ask him one thing. That's the only thing we needed to know. You just spend 4 questions be like, hey, buddy. Doesn't it suck? So, Aravi has a familiar. Vidnov has a familiar. Roy has 2 summons. Karps has Kelpie and Bayou. And I have Lowcast.
Bayou's a friend, not a summon. That's fucked up.
That's okay. That's okay. He's also... That's fine. I never said it just had to be summons. Kelpie's basically permanent.
Listen here, that everyone here is a summon. By that logic.
Yes, actually. I was summoned. From beyond the afterlife.
and and I was summoned for this quest.
Weren't we all summoned for this quest?
Indeed. So
Nah, I
technically,
just hopped on the boat. I
whereas
lied.
summons that have summons.
I don't give a damn about the church. I even know there was a church involved this whole time.
I think technically I just walked into town.
Same.
I just quit school and was wandering around and find myself in the
Yo,
gates.
yo, professor, is this, can I take this class as pass-fail?
yeah, Roy really needs to get
Am I being graded on this?
Roy, could you explain your leave of absence? Well,
Turns out this is the field trip that I was sending Roy on. Like, someone in his class, like, deliberately switched around the invites for the field trip, and...
No, technically he was just exploring the world and running away from the fact that his room was all smelly of fey magic.
Oh. Mom and Dad, don't approve.
I doubt it.
Oh. Regardless.
alright.
To the coast! The hope of Lone.
Is there epic music in the background?
How about depressing?
We just start
forest
calling ourselves that and see if it works diplomatically.
The hope of Lone. That would be a name. That would be a fucking name.
music? Back on the trail. Whoa.
Or Lone Hope.
Hey! Now that's good.
was
Did
toyed
we
with.
actually decide on a group name at any point?
No birds.
And we have now.
I'm good with that.
Sure, fuck it.
Lone Hope.
Lone Hope continues. New name in tow. Potentially new ideals and inner beliefs. As the party trudges for a few more hours north towards the coast. Eventually, the trees start to thin in quantity. The ground becomes more rocky and steep as you begin to come to an incline. You weren't even aware of this because you guys crash landed inland, but the coast of Lone is a large cliffside on this side. You're aware that Vivian is presumably at the very tip of this path, and as you come to, trees begin to thin, like I said, until they're very sparse. And you see that the land becomes more like a series of plateaus. As above you could hear and see these stirring and whirring mists of loam coalescing into this storm. A tempestuous version of their form. Sparks of purple lightning within. As you go further, I would like people to make a perception check. Which I will do this.
Click the button.
Oh my god.
I got a 7. I'm
I
rolling.
think I see things.
Oh shit, Aravi.
Damn.
That's recovery from last time.
Okay, just to see what would happen if I was to have rolled the table. I have
Everybody
rolled a
is
7
still,
officially.
no. I mean, compared to everyone else, but still.
God damn it.
Oh. Yeah, wait, what did he...
I like how
What
Vidnov
was
is
his,
still
what was his number?
better.
It wasn't 19. Yeah, it wasn't 19.
It's,
Oh,
it's
shit.
literally
I thought
only
it was
by
like
1.
14 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled a 2, don't worry about it.
We should introduce them to Argus.
I mean, my passive
In
is
the
23.
distance-
Don't
So.
Aravi, Vidnov, you see at first quite a scene. The tempestuous nether storm
Oh, look,
coalesces at a
something's
single
happening ahead.
point at the height of the cliff at the coast of Lone, at the very end of it, where you see none other than the skull of some enormous creature. And within it coalesces the storm, or possibly from outward from that. At this end, presumably Vivian's lair, the cliff splits off into two, leaving a massive chasm in the middle.
I'll glance over to Vidnov. Cauldron my ass. That thing's the source of power.
Well, if we're talking about a structure, it's way simpler to take care of.
Well, the cauldron might be at the base of where all of that coalesces.
Yeah, the skull.
And I do have a visual. Courtesy of Sez and Peku for their sick fucking map. Now, those of you with high perceptions can see it first, but eventually you all are able to see this while maintaining still a respectable distance.
Is it in chat or is it in? Oh, never mind.
Oh, it's just here. It's let's go, boys. Sick fucking map. Let's go. Yo! Yo! Yo, what the fuck, dude?
That's cool.
Yeah,
What?
that's a
What were
perfectly normal
you before
home.
you died?
Oh shit.
Like Vivian's been eating her Wheaties too.
Of course, the weather effects and sounds hardly do it
Where are
justice.
you?
The storm
That
was
looks super cool.
wildly swirling overhead, coalescing at the point. Yeah.
This is like 10% of the power.
They're
Those
body-sized.
Body cages?
There's something in there, you think, but you're quite too far to tell. You guys are seeing this from a distance.
Oh, joy. Wait. We're gonna have to jump over those bones to get there.
Or travel under them?
I think I would have
definitely
asked Roy if he had anything that he thinks might, like potion-wise, that might be able to get thrown at the cauldron to damage it.
Roy is going to think very carefully. He's going to put his hand in the bag of holding and put the two of those crystals. And he's going to say, I don't have exactly a potion, but if I manage to throw one of these, and I'm guessing applying the enough firepower is going to make a decent enough explosion.
Well, I'm thinking I have a familiar. It could, take something of great power, and get it to the cauldron very quickly, possibly.
I am also good at getting things quickly to places.
Well, I guess we can do that. Here's the thing. I could give you enough stuff in the bag of holding, enough explosion stuff, so the familiar can carry it over there. I can release the infusion, which will make everything drop at the exact same time, and everything, if it's ignited, will make boom at the exact same time.
But do we have enough space to carry the things that we actually want from it?
I mean, we could leave it in a safe spot? Question mark?
I'll cast my gaze to the rest of the group for their thoughts.
Taking out the cauldron might not be that. Might not need that much firepower. It's definitely guarded, from what we could see. But it might be as simple as, like, I don't know, knocking it over.
My counter option is I can get close with the Misty Steps. So I can basically get in range and pour the fumigator stuff inside.
Spritz it all. Hose it down with anti-curse juice.
Basically.
Pressure washer with anti-curse stuff.
I mean, I do have like knowledge in alchemist and stuff, and I have advanced stuff with the alchemist skill. I usually get advantage, so I might be able to do something if I get in range. That's what I was hoping for.
Well, I am a bit limited in how I can attempt to
That will
destroy
certainly
it.
be a very deciding factor.
Let's see. Can you remind me, what did the red plant stuff do from the tower? Because I have a vial of it.
I
I
believe
don't
it was
remember
touched
all the properties
by
of it,
something. I'm
though.
not quite sure what. The entire thing started to like turn red and like snap off and become brittle.
Ooh, that could be convenient.
Maybe if I just open the cork and throw it at Vivian.
Isn't it dead though? Because it is red in there.
I think that this is like
It is, yeah.
the goop from that plant.
Wait. The heads are basically cursed themselves, right? At some degree
Hags?
with the Shadowfell
Kind of,
magic. Here's, yeah. Here are here's my idea. I could try to use this time of preparation to take my alchemist kit and mix the fumigator stuff with the water stuff that cures curses that we found 2 sessions ago. Try to make something, especially for this encounter, where I can maybe keep Vivian at range using that while you guys try to do something. Or maybe that I could use the same stuff with the cauldron.
Like a mortar shot.
Mhm.
What if you fitted your like eldritch cannon, the flamethrower pattern with it,
I could try.
or the
The
eldritch cannon pattern with it?
I mean, I could try to play with it up to DM's discretion.
Yeah, Daryl, let's homebrew a way to completely
are free to
derail
death for
your
this
encounter right before we do it.
Oh, by the
You
way,
know, maybe we should go to the Vampire Coast, everyone. Let's just go that way. Let's just 180 go that way.
by the way, just in case I forgot, so you guys know,
Yeah,
I
that
do have
casualty's
Featherfall
down.
prepared.
You don't easily come up from that. Also worth noting that top plateau, the far end, is completely separated island, basically. It doesn't connect at all to the rest of the land. You'd have to get up there somehow. Closest is the big rib cage bit at the top. But as far as like on the sides go,
Like here,
this is
or
its own island. And this is the closest.
is like from here to
That's
here?
like pretty far. That's like your safest bet.
How high are we talking
But
about?
anywhere else, it would be very difficult.
Okay.
But it's safest, but also down the center.
Safest.
Yeah. So about jumping.
Yeah.
Well, to
I
be
mean,
fair, this is 5th edition. I don't have armor check penalty from having full plate.
I think the whole like weight stuff, I can get over that with the Featherfall active.
Misty
1,
steps.
2, 3,
And the Misty
4,
steps.
5, 6, 7 jumps. Well, theoretically fewer if you were to climb around the left. Ugh.
I'm pretty sure
rough.
the moment we walk in there, those ravens are gonna alert her, and that's it.
I just want to.
Oh, you want
Yeah,
to
and the
just
scale is
fumigate
that
those
super
ravens?
small. Or super big.
That's how it's gonna work.
I mean, here's the thing: we don't know exactly what the Steelers are capable of. I know we have a couple of range options, but I don't know if we can like kill them before we make it all the way over there.
My
Because they're
only
going
ranged
to.
option is Sacred Flame. No, not Sacred Flame. Ding Dong.
Would you like a crossbow? Question mark?
I wouldn't, but Lowcast might.
I am going to do this. I'm pretty sure this works. I am going to bring us back here. But I am going to set Vivian's Lair as a map you could switch to voluntarily. I think I can do that. Navigation.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. But by the way, are you guys okay on me trying to mix the flowing water with the fumigator stuff to see if I can make something useful?
Yeah, I think that this fight is probably going to be the one that we're not going to want to hold back on. Considering Vivian is supposedly the one that's controlling the entirety of the storm, so...
I mean, she's not controlling it. She just doesn't know what she's doing. Is it really control if you don't know what you're doing?
Right. You under mean what I stand.
I don't think what I did just worked. Did you guys pull up your scenes tab? It's the third tab on the right side. What do you guys see when you pull that up? Scenes directory. You don't have it at all?
I don't see the scenes tag.
No. Third one on ours is actions directory, and one next to that is items directory, at least for mine.
And after that is the journal. I think you're the one that can make the maps and the scenes.
Yeah.
So
but
we as
should
players
go
are
out
not
here.
like going
Maps.
where we're not supposed to.
But it's fine for now. In fact, I'll just have it up on stream. Well, you guys just tell me what you want me to swap to.
I mean, I'm good to go whenever, so. I know what my limitations are, so, yeah. Oh,
Well-
would at any point Brea
It
say
wasn't
that
mentioned.
hags
You would know that
are
they
affected
not
by
in
silver at all?
In any way, differently affected by silver.
Ah. God damn it. Spent all that money for nothing.
Not nothing.
I don't think it's actually helped us at all, ever.
Uh,
Because I don't think we've actually fought anything
Just
that's
the
like weak
werewolves,
to
just the
silver.
howlers, yeah.
Other than the
werewolves.
Right, but like I don't think I actually did much damage to them anytime that I did hit them.
Well, it's not that they're weak to it, it's just that you can do neutral damage to them, which is more than a mundane weapon could do.
Mm.
Which, at that point, basically means it is a vulnerability. Everything
I
else
also
just
don't
bounce
know
off.
why I have a wooden stake in my inventory, but okay.
Remember when we found the vampire coffin?
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
There you go. Not to mention, there's also the mummy. Remember the mummy? That was a thing.
I'm going to show the red plant vial to Roy, and I'm gonna say I'm not sure if you want to try to use this at any point, but if you don't have a plan for what to do with it, I could just simply try to catch them off guard while we're fighting, and try to just get this onto Vivian. Because if I remember correctly, this is a very you don't want to touch this type of thing.
I think it's a good idea if we have multiple attack options.
Okay,
If-
I will keep it for now then.
Yeah. Before we go, I would like to ask you guys for assistance. I would like to maybe craft something, but I will need all the help that I can get.
I will assist with my dexterous hands that are used to, moving quickly and subtly.
Yes.
Okay. So, DM, I would like to get the flowing water and the fumigator solution and trying to synthesize it in a way that I can still use the fumigator, but maybe weaponize not only as specific curses that I was used to use, but like general, so I can use it to either debilitate or directly make damage to Vivian.
Right. So
And the burb is assisting with his very well-trained hands.
to
And I do have the
start,
advanced alchemist kit.
I'm gonna have you start off with an Arcana check. Understand, even if this is possible, what it would actually do, how the components would come into it.
You-
Insane. You
Nice.
have not been led to believe that Vivian is like made of curses. You don't know if just hitting her with anti-curse stuff would directly harm her.
I like the red plant goo
with-
on the cauldron.
With 27,
That's a
though,
good option.
It's
Did
possible that what she's doing, like her nether storm, whatever components it may be made of, the Mists of Lone, and then whatever hex magic, might be affected in some way, though. How that plays into your plan is could be nothing, or could be, if you want to factor that in.
Darrow, additionally, the red plant stuff, was that only affecting organic
This is
things?
affecting specific.
Or was it
non-organic
also
things.
affecting non-organic things?
It didn't affect the floor in the room, the tile of the room,
Okay.
but I believe you got some on like your clothing, and it affected that, and it definitely affects organic stuff.
Okay, so some non-organic, but all organic. Okay. Well, that works for me.
I could target instead of Vivian directly, go to a cauldron and try to purify it.
Yeah. You could focus on the cauldron and trying to destroy it in some fashion, since you're in many ways more knowledgeable in arcane things than Vidnov. And then Vidnov can focus on Vivian. Or attempt to, at least.
I like the plan. We can attack both flanks at the same time. If something goes south, we can rely on the other stuff.
Yeah, the only problem is going to be getting to the
At least.
cauldron.
The only problem.
Yeah, the only problem.
Definitely 100% the only problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Not the parkour we have to do to get there.
Oh, what? Are you saying you've never parkoured before?
Here, wait.
Alyxend tries to jump. They don't. Not really.
I can't notice that you can jump at all, because it just looks like you just stood there.
I
no.
dare you, but my strength
Respectable
score is 10.
Alyxend feels like
Shall
they
we
get
eat?
height, and they probably
Is
do.
it more or less than an inch
but it
off
doesn't
the
look like
ground
it.
as they jump?
Under all that armor and padding.
Oh, yeah, you see, you just need to bend lower and then thrust yourself up higher, faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta put more, what's the
momentum
term?
into it.
Momentum, movement. Yeah.
I crouch down slightly, the effort which is somewhat noticeable, and then I jump.
For having no ligaments.
Vidnov's trying to, like, critique their form and stuff, since...
Use the techniques, Great Ward.
Technique. I do the fun trick where I just I bend like my arms in ways they really shouldn't bend.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't
Suppose
think
it's the one perk of being a pile of bones.
Vidnov, unarguably the lightest person here without armor. I don't
Or
see
the
why
lightest
you
person
guys
here
are
with
worried
armor.
about moving through, a canyon where we have to parkour. It's not just, like, aside from the cat that's in our party, the most dexterous person that also weighs less than the cat. I don't see what the problem is.
Do you think it's... I don't think it is possible to make an unseen ascent. We just have to brute force it.
Looking at the map,
It's
there's basically
gonna
nothing
be
in terms of
rough.
flanking
I mean,
off map.
Vidnov
Yep.
might.
Your approach, though. I mean, the map's so massive. Your approach can be stealthy. Your approach can be subtle in ways you want. There are countless ravens standing guard. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but options like that do exist.
You're
Alright.
not saying it's impossible
Yeah.
either, Jimbo.
Do you have any way of creating like a black zone or a black sphere? I don't know if your sanctuary lowers light usually. Then we might use darkness as a cover.
If I had the spell slot, I could just cast darkness, but casting darkness is very stationary.
Looking at spell slots.
It's like, wow, look, a sphere of darkness. That's definitely not obvious. I'm sure nobody's coming along to try and
Why
sneak
don't we
around
just
for
split in two?
like a distraction team and a jump team.
Yeah.
I do make a very annoying distraction.
I do make loud noises. My presence is a distraction, I'm sure.
Hypothetically speaking, if Aravi were to pick one of us and drag us all the way over there, how much it will take?
Hey,
I
Aravi.
can only take Vidnov. My
Participate-
strength score is a 10.
I tried.
Vidnov is gonna like poke Aravi. Hey, throw this stone and let's see who can hit that small, irregularly shaped rock over there better.
Wait,
I'm more or less doing a comparison between our like ability to throw with
Wait.
precision.
wait. I have a genius idea. I have
Yes?
a ridiculous genius idea. Roy is going to extend my hand to his belt and pull the bag of holding, and look at Vidnov and point at him. We can get inside of this.
There's no air in there.
We can hold our breath for like 60 seconds.
How big is this bag of holding's entrance?
He wants us to throw it and then pop out.
I mean,
Wait, don't you have to pull yourself out of it though?
okay. Here's the plan. If someone can fly, get us there, pick us out. Even if we're falling, I can cast Featherfall.
I mean, we'd have to fit into the bag, wouldn't we?
Yeah, you have to fit in the opening.
I can Misty Step inside, and Alex is a final board.
You're scared. You're scared about.
I don't think you
scared about
can Misty Step into another plane, which is technically what's happening.
It's
I think you have to
Yeah,
see
you
your
could-
target.
well,
for
it's
Misty
not
Step.
extra
It would
planar.
get you
It's
there.
just
What would
extra
happen in
dimensional.
The immediate millisecond following you being half inside of the bag of holding would be another story.
That's my best idea.
I can just straight up carry Vidnov, so the two of us can be there quickly.
Dara, what rolls would it be to throw a stone that's similar in weight and size to the vial that I have? Because I want to try to compare with Aravi.
Nothing really like super precise to it or anything.
Okay. So, well, that's partly what I want. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to compare
If
how
it's
our
distance and accuracy,
precision at
maybe
throwing the
athletics,
same
follow back,
sized
athletics.
object.
I'm gonna go off that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say like being able to throw it 30 feet.
Yeah.
So athletics and. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Though I'd probably
There's
just
my
say
athletics.
dexterity.
And then what was the other one again? Acrobatics?
Athletics, dexterity. But that's fine. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Dexterity check. Oh. My dexterity check would add a 4.
Dexterity proficiency.
Or no, never mind. It already has that. Yeah. Yeah, I think seeing how we both did. Well, I'll like hold the vial between us after we threw the rock. Well, I guess we're almost the same in being able to move it, but you can move a lot faster than I can. So, would you be comfortable in uncorking this and trying to get Vivian with it?
Which one was that? That was the...
That's you get this stuff on you and you may or may not disintegrate, kind of.
I thought we decided that was best used on inanimate object.
It only works on some. So we don't know what is and isn't included in the list.
I mean, I could probably hit Vivian with it, although I think that would be a ranged attack rather than anything else, but I think we have equal values on that.
Well, you could try to run up to Vivian and then just uncork it and then just force it onto her. Or attempt to force it onto her and then run away.
I mean, I could. That I could easily do. I could walk up and just pour it on her.
And since you can run so quickly, I think it actually would be better in your hands. Because otherwise I'd be trying to sneak up after we're already in combat, most likely.
Sure.
I'll just hand the vial to Aravi then.
alright. You receive a red alien plant matter goop vial.
Alright. I believe I'm ready.
Could I try and finish the conjunction I was making for the cauldron before rolling?
What are you trying to create, Roy?
Basically, since both the nature of the bile from the fumigator and the flowing water is getting rid of curse, I just want to just combine them into a single stuff, liquid, that I could maybe put inside the cauldron, trying to dispel the curses.
The anti-curse corrosion
All right.
liquid.
And Vidnov's helping you out with this?
Trademark pendant.
Yeah.
Also known as the
primarily the putting things together in a very stable
Roy,
manner,
advanced
since
alchemy kit, help
he's
you.
dexterous.
You show Vidnov what can be done, how it can help make things more precise. And given the nature of the water, it's kind of difficult to work with, though besides that, it doesn't seem like it should be difficult to incorporate into the design. You don't know if combining these things will magically make it destroy all curses, but you believe, based on what you know about the flowing water, that whatever you add it to will make it much more potent and long-lasting, potentially. So.
Okay.
As your
Alright, so we have our attack pattern, we have our points of entrance, but what about getting there? Are we gonna try and slowly get you there, Alyxend, or
no, Roy, how many? Do you have any vials you
what's
have?
the plan?
From the fumigator, I have 10, and I have the whole
With one
flask, so I
use
have 3
water, you're able
of
to
flowing
make
water.
as many combo, what are they called? Combo solutions as you'd like, combining it. So you can turn all 10 of them into something new, 5, however many you want. Okay. I will just, with the help of
I'm
Vidnov,
going
require
to
one
be
check
using
of you
5.
as you're creating the solution. Supply, go ahead and roll with advantage. Easily enough done.
Bandage.
So it's difficult to work with, but you get the hang of it pretty quick with Vidnov's help. Holds things down, helps you do the precise movements. You're able to make the amount of combo fumigator solutions that you want. You believe that this will, if hypothetically used against another like substance beta creature, would easily and permanently reverse the process. Would probably do a much better job of cleaning up the actual solution. Like maybe something like this would be actually be crazy in the like under that one area where it was just like filled with the acid stuff with the substance beta. But for now, you have the combo solution. Combining this with something else that might more directly counteract a specific curse,
Okay.
you're confident would be very potent.
Could Vidnov try to make an Arcana check to see how useful it would be in the same process that they
Yes.
did to Vidnov?
Since you were helping Roy, I will assist you.
Using up all the
being
good
made
rolls right before the fight.
At a base based off the flowing water, it would be good in that regard. You don't think it would have any much effect on you. The solution the anti-curse solution in there is primarily, while it does have like quote-unquote anti-curse properties, is primarily attuned to negating the substance beta curse. Though it is a start of something that could, that with time could become something much more reliable than the process you did.
All right. I'll convey that to Roy. If we, assuming that we survive the next couple of hours. If we continued working on something like this, we might be able to find a permanent solution into removing people's marks without killing the hags.
That is actually very promising. I will.
We should
One
still probably
big
kill the
two.
hags, but it's good.
I entirely agree.
Yeah.
Like a tuned anti-hag juice.
But
Yeah,
if more
just-
hags came along the later on down the line, we already have a counteracting agent.
The hag juice.
Did,
I mean,
did, you,
it's also called your knife, but you know.
did we just create an anti-hack shot?
I think we just made pepper spray.
I love
We
it.
can start marketing this.
Well, we very hope to survive this because we have a very good trail to follow.
We went from hope to business startup.
Well,
No need to
The
even
natural
change the name.
progression of our dreams.
And
Vidnov's
so
good
Lone
to
Hope
begin.
was around for all of 12 minutes.
well,
They are now Lone Hope Incorporated.
well, how are we going to make it all the way over there?
Jump.
I'm going to jump and climb.
Okay.
I'm going to try cause a distraction and fuck them up.
I'm a simple man myself. Hey, Karps, do you think your friend can carry a second person? A very light one.
Probably.
Could you give me a ride?
I asked Kelpie how he feels about another person being on its back.
I'll give you a
Looking for a nod or a shaking of the head.
after a second of you just.
Yeah, we're just gonna
like,
send low cast
getting
on the back of
a
Kelpie.
reaction from him, we just get a slow nod, not changing his expression at all.
Alright.
I mean, I'm probably the best equipped with range options so I can cover you guys as we're moving.
All right.
How many bolts do you have left to use?
How many what?
How many... You have a crossbow, yes?
Yep.
How many bolts do you have left to use?
I have 20 normal bolts and 5 silver crossbow bolts.
Okay. Well, if you think you could use any to assist us, and it won't hamper our efforts to put an end to the hag, then I would say whatever you can do to make it easier for all of us to get there.
I mean, I was planning on giving you fire with magic and my cannons. I will have double range. And if anyone needs the crossbow and the bolts, I can just give you guys a range option.
Hmm.
Looks at Alex's friend.
Rattlers. Shakers.
Would you like a crossbow, my friend?
It's alright though, Cast.
Okay, it's got a new
You
ability.
can pick up useful equipment.
Does he have a melee range option?
They're armed only with a short sword.
Okay. I will give him the crossbow and the bolt.
How
When
many
you said
bolts
it's
do you
all
have?
right, Locast, I thought you were about to say you can speak. I was like, oh, what?
Oh no. Lowcast is not very talkative.
That
They
wasn't
do have
included
a
in their
distinct
contract.
personality.
An impressive second range.
Light crossbow get.
Definitely be helpful here. And yeah, I put you guys on the map. It doesn't necessarily mean you're this close, unless you want to be.
I'm going to use my time to just summon my Eldritch Ballista in my hand. so I can have it ready.
That's a good point. What is the current range? If Lucas was just to start sniping from this point, how far could he get?
120. We'll need to be in like the second raid question mark, like in this
They
line.
can target Vivienne from where they're currently standing if they were actually on this map.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Disadvantage was still.
320 feet, Matt.
Just
Pull
Locast
up
just
the tripod,
stands on the
tripod,
rib
it's
the
prone.
furthest away and just starts sniping.
The best part is I can
With a
just
little
reach
more
them
effort
with one
than
round.
with a little more effort than just a straight line, but yeah,
What?
I mean, because there are elevation changes, but if you are taking the most straightforward path, then there'll be checks involved, but like
Yeah, like I can't actually because of the elevation changes and because of other things, but
Theoretically, you could just go
theoretically.
I think as we come close enough to see any of the ravens, I think I would drop into stealth mode.
that would be for all for all involved. Oh my god.
Looks at myself and Alex. Oh, and Karps.
We don't need. I'm gonna go
Karps
to the
is
side.
floating in the
results.
air according to the stealth rolls.
Surprisingly, Kelpie is
I
actually
am
really.
somehow stealthier than my other skeleton.
Did it
To be
turn
fair,
around?
low class
Appear
is
for you,
glowing
or did it
blue.
just disappear? Okay, yeah, I saw the 19.
Yeah, it just didn't say it. It was 19 on
Actually,
die, but
pretty
it
damn
just
good
didn't
around.
show anything. Should be 25 total.
The undead and the heavily armored keeping peeled back a little bit, but not by much. To what distance do you guys want to approach? Like this close, actually?
I think like right around here,
also, if
if
you guys
possible.
would like to emerge
you know?
from the right side, that's also an option.
Yeah.
The pros on the right side is that we have a safer landing if we go over there, but the crows are going to be the problem. If we want to keep stalled, I think we should go left, but whatever you guys think.
If we were to go only on the left side until the last possible moment that we have to go to the right side, or just stay all the way to the right side, which one seems like an easier path to go up to the to this rib? As far as like climbing up to the next plateau area and such.
Both are pretty precarious. Because this, you're gonna have to climb up this and get over here on the left side. On the right side, it's kind of quicker, I guess, but you'll have to maneuver over here to get across.
Okay.
We should probably go left for both stealth purposes and because not everybody is excellent at climbing up and down cliffs. If we fall on the left side, we don't fall. We just like fall down to the one below.
Okay. Then I'll try moving ahead of the group, and then I'll use my pythons to try to give us assists to climb this wall.
So you're moving ahead alone to like prepare the area.
And I've got 19 to work with, so a bit
Need a
limited,
hammer?
but
Okay.
yeah, probably like 30, 40 feet ahead
Okay.
of the
Me
group,
too.
and then I'll climb up the wall and prepare it for the others.
setting up the wall. As you're setting things up, and you right to the top as you're setting up the path, you see a creature that seems to also have noticed you inside of this cage. A grotesque bird-like humanoid. A failed experiment by Vivienne, who seemed to have noticed you for a few seconds and begins shaking the cage and squawking loudly. Though nothing seems to get it to care about its sounds. It seems to be a regular occurrence. Which are also drowned out by the storm.
Okay. So seeing this cage, I'll look around to see if I can see any other cages of the like. And do you want me to just use my passive to notice the other one?
Creature inside of that one on the right side, and you saw the ones leading up to or next to.
Does
the
that?
end.
Okay.
However, those are, you could tell, they have just swarms of ravens within them. Now you're still
Interesting.
unnoticed,
Okay.
as you could assume you would be too, Aravi.
Okay. I assume I can't tell of anything specific of what Vivian's currently doing over here. So I'll just move close to the left-hand side
Go ahead.
and start making my way up.
As you pass by, the failed experiment will begin to shake the cage violently, incredibly angry that seemingly that you're passing it by. Oh.
Could I do a
Yes.
message while pointing towards the creature? And I'm going to say, let's see, it's an avian, so I'll use the, what is it called? Yeah, I'll use Orin, the language of the pretty much most bird peoples, and I'll state, I see that they've ruined you in one way or another. Would you like me
The
to
message does not seem
ease the
You
pain?
know the spell connected, but the message does not seem to affect the creature, as it begins to shake the cage more violently, and in a stroke of luck manages to topple it over. As the cage is now rolling in, begins to roll in which direction?
Okay.
Cage and the creature begin to roll this way, as it begins to squawk and squirm even louder and more violently.
I don't like that.
Uncomfortable.
It looks like it's gonna go over the edge.
Does it seem like it'll eventually go over the edge? I'll give a nice two-finger salute as I see it going over.
Meanwhile, I'm just on the
This
edge of the
creature
cliff
will
going like,
topple over the
fucking
edge
shit.
and go careening down into the drink. Likely never to be seen again. Though, notice of the creature's departure was taken by Vivienne.
Yeah, there's no really quieting
And
a
on that
cage
note-
rattling down the fucking cliff.
on.
I'll yeah, I'm just gonna keep an eye on anything that's moving around other than, you know, the storm itself,
Well,
as I
that-
await the other party
yeah,
members.
Vivienne's attention, not specifically directed towards any party member,
It is
but
9,
aware
though.
that something is off now. I'm going to end the session there, and next time we will commence the final encounter here with Vivienne.